This is not a threat. I promise. I promise. This is not a threat. I promise. It's just a. No, forgot it. 1, 2, 3. So, hello class. My name is Carlos Barrera, and I'm gonna be talking about the decorator design pattern. My pilot, my pilot. This is not a threat. Hello class. My name is Carlos Barrera, and I'm gonna be talking about the decorator design pattern. And my partner is Skylar Hildreth. The decorator design pattern, it's fairly simple. It's removing the idea of complicated inherences. To be more specific, is the decorator design pattern works by simplifying. One, two, three. Hello, class. My name is Carlos Barrera, and my partner is Skylar Hildreth, and we're going to be talking about the decorator design pattern. The decorator design pattern works by simplifying the attachments of additional responsibilities to an object without adding responsibilities to the entire class. In other words, the decorator design pattern is able to add responsibilities to individual objects dynamically and without affecting other properties. If you don't understand what that means, it's basically a a fancy way of saying a wrapper. Most of us understand how a wrapper works. Instead of modifying a complete class, we just start adding additional features to a specific object, right? Why would you do that? Is because it basically simplifies the ability to modify modify objects, right? So one, two, three. Hello class, my name is Carlos Barrera, and I'm going to be talking about the decorator design pattern. The decorator design pattern works by simplifying the ability to attach additional responsibilities, quotation marks, to an object without adding responsibilities to an entire class. This is also known as wrapper. I'm pretty much of you. 1, 2, 3. Hello class, my name is Carlos Barrera, and I'm going to be talking about the decorator design pattern. The decorator design pattern works by simplifying the attachment of additional responsibilities to an object without adding responsibilities to an entire class. Um, Most of us have worked, if not all of us, have worked with object-oriented designs before, and we've all had to deal with wrappers before. This is the same thing, just with a different name. In other words, the decorator design pattern is able to add responsibilities to individual objects dynamically and without affecting other objects. A good example of decorator design pattern would be the, de- the development of classes when developing a product's spending trends and graphical format. So for our project, we want to add graphics, right? So if we want to make a parent class of graphics, that might become a little bit complicated because, well, if we decide to add another graphic, we can make a subclass that inherits the parent class, or we try to modify our standard class. That can become quite convoluting. The reason why the decorator design is appropriate for displaying spending trends is because we just want to change the skin versus its guts. Implementing a class that covers all possible graphical displays would be wasteful because most users will only use maybe 1, 2 displays at a time. Most people probably just will use 1 or 2 displays because that's a preference. If you understand a pie graph, you probably in a bar graph, you probably don't need a scatter plot or a box plot. So, but some people might find a box plot useful, seeing how they're spending their money in a more statistical format. But because most people won't use that, there's no reason to implement all those responsibilities to our fundamental class, because most graphical displays won't be used. Instead, we can format the display classes and add responsibilities as the user asks for them. The upside of using the decorator design pattern is that it gives you more flexibility. With the decorator design pattern, responsibilities can be added and removed from an object at runtime by simply attaching and detaching decorators, also known as wrappers. In contrast with inheritance, it requires to create a new class for each additional responsibility. The removal of an inheritance also required substantial modifications to classes instead of modifying a single object. So let's say if you decide to modify your parent class because you realize that you're not using something, you're going to have to go and modify every subclass that has inherited the the responsibility from the parent class, and vice versa. If you realize that, again, you don't need a responsibility in a child, but it's inherited, you need to utilize it, or at least needs to be in your code. It needs to be used, right? And that might be just a pain to deal with. Um, Second use of the design patterns avoids features laden classes high up in the hierarchy. Let me say that again. Avoids feature laden classes high up in the hierarchy. The first time and second time I said that, I did not understand that. But it basically says that it simplifies classes. Inheritance can attach unnecessary responsibilities to a subclass, while decorators only add responsibilities as they are needed. This allows the construction of simple classes and optimization of overhead. It also simplifies the addition of responsibilities because the probability of conflicts is minimized due to the parent class's simplicity. Overall, the decorator class is very useful. It simplifies maintaining classes, simplifies additional features, or